Hey, welcome back to Spellbound. It's me, BEEJ, and this is a Sunny Summer TBR. So over the next few videos, there's going to be different curated lists for different types of summer vibes. So this one is the Sunny Summer TBR. These are going to be what I assume are beach reads, poolside reads, kind of light and fluffy, just ones that feel maybe wholesome, heartwarming, and just like that, those good, fun summer vibes that are joyful. So that's what this video is. There will be a summerween video. There will be a pirate TBR, a mermaid TBR. For the Sunny Summer TBR, let's get started. We are starting with Slow Burn Summer by Josie Silver. I think this one was published last year, and this looks like a fluffy rom-com about a divorced screenwriter. I don't know if he's a failed screenwriter, but like he's struggling, and he just wrote this romance novel that I think is really popular, but his agent is like, yeah, you are kind of disgraced right now, your career's in the toilet, you can't be the face of this, or your press tour is not going to go really well, like your book tour. So they need to hire someone to pretend to be the author of this like really heartwarming romance, and so they hired I think a retired soap actress who is also going through a divorce. So this is like a cute, it's not a second chance romance because I don't think they've been together before, but it's like second time around kind of a romance. So I'm looking forward to it. It sounds really cute. It sounds like it's got some summer vibes and also just light, fluffy rom-com. That's all I know about it. If you know more, please tell me. Til Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. This one I think I got this one last year, but I have been so excited to read it, intimidated because it's hefty and because it's Megan Quinn. And I haven't read a Megan Quinn book yet, but the titles of them have all kind of given me pause for different reasons. I'm like, ooh, I'm either going to really like this author or maybe not, which is profound, isn't it? So this one, though, it looks... How do I describe this? First, I should tell you what it's about before I tell you what I think I'm going to like or dislike about it. The caffeine is still kicking in. So this is about a girl who starts a job at a really bro-y company. Like it's a whole sausage fest, and there's not a lot of ladies. And so at first she's like, ooh, but then she's like, oh man, everybody's married. That sucks. And her boss is like very pro-marriage, like coupling up. And so in order to impress him, she's like, oh, I'm married too. And so her boss is like, how come we never seen him? And so she's like, it's a rough marriage, like it's rocky. And so he recommends a marriage counselor, which is his husband. And so she's like, well, shit, now to keep this like charade going and to not look like I made up this elaborate lie that I totally did to my boss, I need to like get someone to pretend to be my husband to come with me to see this marriage counselor. And so that's what she does. I think she his name's Wilder Wells. Wilder. Am I saying that right? Like Wilder? Surely his name isn't Wilder, right? Like Wilbur, but with a D. Wilder. It's gotta be Wilder. Maybe there's a middle ground that isn't a southern accent. Wilder Wells. Wilder. It's Wilder Wells, right? I don't know. This doesn't say that it's southern, but now I'm like, Wilder? Okay, this has gone too far. It's an 8-day summer marriage camp with all of the girls' coworkers and Wilder Wells, who she is paying to pretend to be her husband to attend this marriage camp. This sounds adorable, and it better be as good as I want it to be. Also, I know that you can't tell. Perhaps you can't feel this, but this has a very textured matte finish, and this is good. At least it's not glossy. We've had this conversation before. We're going to talk about this book in another video. This is a glossy cover. We don't do these anymore, publishers. We're over this. This is a thing of the past. If you must texturize your matte finishes, fine. However, if you can make them this smooth matte finish, this like soft cover that like all the indie publishers are doing, this is preferred. This is good. This is an ASMR experience. This is a whole immersive experience of reading this book. This has also gone too far. BEEJ focus. I have 5 of these videos to make. I don't have a chance. Big Fish by Daniel Wallace. This, you might have heard of it, was turned into a movie. It was turned into a film by Tim Burton. I haven't even seen this movie, not all the way through. I saw it once in a hotel room. That was an experience. It sounds charming. I'm assuming that you already know what this is, which is unfair because I have only ever seen the last 20 minutes, like I said, in a hotel room on a business trip. So what is this book about? That's brilliant. Okay, so like this guy, his dad's dying. That's such a bummer. But like his dad has always told this guy his like life story, and it always sounded so exaggerated, right? Like it was like, no way you've done all these things. His dad had all these adventures and just, it sounded like he had lived all of these really big lives. So he was like, yeah, like, okay, Dad, you know, like, sure, you've done these things. And then during the last few days of his dad's life, maybe it's a few days or a few weeks or something, these people come to like pay their respects to him, and it kind of turns out in meeting these people that like all these stories might have been true, even though he never believed them, because every time his dad would retell these stories, like the stories would get more and more exaggerated to the point that there was like no way they could be true. You know, like the term big fish comes from like that concept of like, sure, every time you retell that story, the fish that you caught gets bigger and bigger. This is just a cute story about like a dad or a guy rediscovering his dad through stories. And I do enjoy books like that. I do. For similar mom-daughter vibes, you've got like One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serle. I read that one last year. And that feels like it's got similar vibes. Not the same plot whatsoever, but just like that idea of like a grown person sort of through their own experience coming to know their parent more. You know, and so I like that. I like that as a concept. Anyway, Big Fish. It looks good. It looks short. So we'll balance out the other two, I think. What Big Teeth by Rose Sabo. I've been wanting to read this for years. Eleanor Zaren has been estranged from her wild, bloodthirsty family for years. She flees boarding school after a horrifying incident. She goes to the only place she thinks is safe, the home she left behind, but when she gets there, she struggles to fit in with her monstrous relatives, who prowl the woods around the family estate and read fortunes in the guts of birds. So she finds herself trying to hold the family together, trying to make sense of a re-emerging power that seems increasingly linked to the reason that she was sent away in the first place. So in order to save them all, she must learn to embrace her family of monsters and tame the darkness inside of her. This sounds metaphorical, but I don't know what the metaphor is yet. I just know that I'm obsessed with it. Look at this cover, right? So with a layered mystery, a haunting setting, and thrilling tension, What Big Teeth has an otherness that pulls you in and forces you to keep reading. Otherness, great word. Okay, so this is like a little dark for a Sunny Summer TBR, but I did give you a bonus recommendation of One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serle, so maybe this kind of balances out for the fact that this is probably a darker, more intense read on what was supposed to be just like a tee-hee-ha-ha kind of list. Let me know. The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Tokuda-Hall. So this is a really, really great story. And I remember that. I don't, however, remember the plot because it's been A, 2 years, and B, I don't remember books. So this book, though, is fantastic, and I remember knowing that I was reading like an epically fantastic book as I was reading it, before even I saw all of the awards that this book won. This is a Locus Award finalist, an Otherwise Award honor list selection, an NPR Best Book of the Year, a Kirkus Reviews Best Young Adult Book of the Year, a Book Page Best Book of the Year, and a School Library Journal Best Book of the Year. Accolades abound for this book, and I genuinely recommend it, even though I don't remember the specificities, which really sucks because I've been wanting to read the sequel forever. So this is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. What I remember about this is that there's like a high-born girl, lady, young woman, and she is put on a ship by her parents who are like deuces, and on the ship is her own casket, and they are sending her to her arranged marriage, for which they probably got like this epic dowry, and by selling their daughter into wedlock, and like just the symbolism of it all, of like, here's my daughter and also here's her casket for whenever she dies, like, bye. So she's like bound for that fate, and then I think their ship gets overtaken by pirates, and that's where she meets the pirate Florian, born Flora. I don't know if that was clear because you can't see it written. The pirate is named Florian. The pirate character was born with the name Flora. And so this is fantastic trans rep in this book, like absolutely fantastic, and shows not just like from their perspective, but also from Evelyn's perspective as she learns Florian, and they develop obviously like a really, really rich and beautiful romance that isn't as flirty and like sassy as a lot of other YA are. And I'm not being like, this is not like other books. It's not, but not because like, this is just much more elevated. This is much more elevated language. This is much more elevated writing than another typical YA romantasy. So it's not going to read the same way. This is not the same accessible language that you're going to come across of the YA versions of SJM. I think that's why a lot of romantasy readers aren't going to vibe with this a whole lot, but a lot of literary fiction readers and a lot of adult fantasy readers are going to like vibe with this, to be honest. This has kind of like an epic fairy tale feeling to it. There's a lot of distance between the narrator and the main character, which helps elevate the language a bit and helps it feel more important, but it also sometimes that distance feels quite distant, you know, like you're hearing a tale of these characters, which is why you will get dialogue, but you're not going to get like verbal sparring back and forth in this like very like where you're inside the main character's head as she like recounts the Cheerios that she's eating for breakfast, right? So they like, we left this book in the middle of their epic quest and I gotta know how it ends, but I do know that this has like the highest recommendation for me. Like this was a seriously good book. I recommend it. This is gonna have like epic quest feeling vibes, but it will also be very heartwarming. I do think there are heavy parts, but the whole book is not overall heavy. It's not saturated in emotion. It's saturated in story. So if you love that, then you'll love it, and I, again, highly recommend it. And finally, The Summer Job by Lizzie Dent. First of all, I haven't read this book, okay? Caveat. Second of all, I'm pretty sure this is chick lit, not a rom-com. I don't think that that means that there is not romance in it, but I think like the point of this is like a somewhat coming of age or coming to self type of story. So this is about Birdie. First of all, love the name. My niece's name is Birdie. This is about girl Birdie who, her best friend Heather was going to like have a summer job as a wine expert in the Scottish Highlands, and then Heather is like kind of flaky, which like, and like I'm also a type A person with a type B best friend, so like I am already identifying with this story. And so Birdie, without telling Heather, decides to take Heather's place at this summer job in the Highlands as a wine expert. The only thing Birdie has to do is pretend to be a wine expert, which she is not. So I'm pretty sure this is just like a figuring yourself out over the summer type of book as she pretends to be Heather. And I think that that's cute. I think that there is romance. I mean, it says on the back of the book, you know, falling for the first man she's liked, but he thinks she's someone else, you know, whatever. But I think this is more of an identity summer vibes kind of book than it is like the entire thing is the romance. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. It looks super cute. It looks like exactly like something I would enjoy. So I can't wait to come back and let you know how it is. If you read this, please let me know. Did you like it? Is it more chick lit than romance? Is it more romance than chick lit? You tell me. So thanks so much for sticking around. Those were 6 recommendations for your Sunny Summer TBR, only one of which I've actually already read. So 5 of them are also on my Sunny Summer TBR. So I can't wait to be reading these books alongside you, and then we can talk about them. And you can start that conversation below in the comments by telling me A, what's on your Sunny Summer TBR, and B, letting me know if you've read any of these books and if they're worth it, because that's all I want to do ever is just talk to people about books, and more specifically, to be honest, have other people talk at me about books. I want you to like pop off about what books you are excited about, what books you're enjoying, what books that you hated recently. I want all of it. Just like throw your bookish opinions at me. I just want them, you know? And as always, take care, drink your water because I know that you're dehydrated. Fight fascism and happy reading.